Chargers at Colts. This is my best bet. Usually I ask Marco what he's thinking, but I'm going to lead out here. I think this is a pure value play. We've got a Colts team that is one of the most diligent, a team with the least quit of any team. Like Manning's force of will is very strong. They're off a fairly impressive performance. They did cover. They had a chance to even win the game at the end against the Pats. A lot of people, a lot of handicappers, bettors are going to think about this the way they think about their own life. When a disappointment happens, let's be honest, those among us who are not of the highest performance types, you get depressed, you get down, you get, oh my God, maybe I'm not as good as I thought, etc. Manning is just going to redouble his efforts. This is a guy that's taken this team on his back. The public has seen him since he's injuries. They've been doing it with spit and tape. They're finding maybe the Colts aren't that good. You got this San Diego team that is, what's their record? 5-5? Mm-hmm. A 5-5 team against the Colts, and the line's 3. The Colts have a pretty decent home field. You're telling me that these are even teams? I think that you got Manning on Sunday night, which in prime time, he's unbelievable. You're going to get a redoubled effort. I think very analogous to the way the Pats played against the Steelers after they got beat by the Browns. And I think you got a San Diego team that Vegas seems to love and believes as good as the Colts. Now let's think about this a second. The Colts were 3.5 at New England, right? That means New England's a half point better than the Colts. Now, San Diego is supposed to be even against the Colts. So you're saying San Diego and New England on a neutral field is going to be -0.5, or is almost a pick 'em? I think the Chargers are a little bit overrated. I think the Colts are going to have a really strong performance. Pure value play for me.
Okay, well, and I get to play devil's advocate and
only say what you feel
and shoot. Well, I'm just going to bring out some facts. The thing about last week's loss, it was gut-wrenching, the way they lost. There has to be some kind of carryover. You talked about how you made the reference to New England, how they beat up on the Steelers the next week. There was a difference. New England was embarrassed in their loss the week before, so there was high motivation. It's totally different when it's a gut-wrenching loss the way that the Colts suffered. Next, San Diego always plays the Colts well, even when the Colts had great teams. Phillip Rivers in San Diego has beat the Colts 4 of the last 5 times they've played, both straight up and against the spread. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. That's a good stat.
Okay. Chargers have a better defense than New England. New England's defense still has holes.
Well, here's the thing about the Chargers. The Chargers have a better offense and defense than almost anyone they play. There's something fundamentally wrong with this team. Is if you look at stats, to me, this is Minnesota, Dallas, and San Diego are all 3 in the same boat. Is teams that everyone thought was going to be good. The fantasy stats are good. The yards per play and all the BS where the character, there's something about the team that won't allow them to win when it really matters. And Minnesota is falling off the face of the earth. Dallas is falling, and then they're trying to rise back up. San Diego, because of a couple of wins, people are forgetting this is a team that we're more than halfway through the season. There's 6 games left. They're 5-5.
You're absolutely right. The only thing I'm quoting history to you.
No, I'm not saying. I deferred to you and said if you believe there's a schematic matchup here that favors San Diego, and you're using that stat to back it up, I'm not sure I disagree. But then you said, and they got a better defense. Well, yeah, they got a better defense. They got a better offense. They're losers.
But here's the one difference, what you're talking about with Dallas and Minnesota are good examples. The difference is this is the same thing we see every year with San Diego. You normally bring
and every year they lose the first round of the playoffs.
They start slow, and then they have an enormous second half. They're good in November, great in December. They've won 3 in a row, and we're in the month of November. This is the last.
That's why the line's 3. And at some point, but then all of a sudden they get bad in January?
There's a reason history repeats itself. People don't listen the first time around. History has shown this Charger team does this every year.
Well, I guess that's where the trend stuff is, again, art and not science. Is people would say, oh, you know, I mean, we've talked, Ryan has won 18 of 19 at home against Atlanta, but the line's 2.5. The question is that stat applicable here? Is there extenuating factors? I'm not saying that San Diego hasn't started like crap for many years, hasn't ended like crap and played okay in between or better than okay. My question is there a reason for that, or has it been random? I mean, what is the reason? Is it that they just went, I mean, explain it to me. You're the psychology guy. Why would it be?
I can't explain that, other than, maybe poor coaching with Norv Turner. I can't. Since he's been there, it's been the pattern.
But what I'm
since
saying is when you have, let's say that time of the season that we're saying is the middle or the late middle, whatever we want to call it, what are we looking at? 18 games over 3 years, 6 games times 3 or some variation of that? Are we really going to take it as gospel, 18 games?
I'm just pointing out that it's something that's got to be respected. I will give you one thing that goes to your side. Peyton Manning, definitely, he took the blame for the loss last week. And this is a guy that's a very prideful player. You are going to get the intensity that you talked about. But another factor is right now, they're talking Phillip Rivers as MVP of the league. Because
doesn't that motivate Manning?
That's what I'm getting at. That's why I'm saying this is something that gives you.
I mean, really, what is the Charger point? Is it's now the late middle of the year and they play well? That's the only point. I mean, you've done a lot of talking. Is that the point?
That is one of the points. But there is a reason this year. I can't go back to the other years. But if you have looked, the Chargers had a ton of injuries at the beginning of the year too. They are getting healthier each week, and right now they're as healthy as they've been all year.
If that was the case, why was Kansas City favored in that division a couple weeks ago?
Because San Diego, that's prior to them winning 3 in a row.
But if it was an injury thing, and if it was just we all knew that San Diego just happens to lose early, people should have been pounding the crap out of the Chargers plus money to win the division. It just seems like that now they want to. Who did they beat? Who was this team beat? The Broncos at home?
They beat the Broncos at home, which was, perfectly set up off a bye week for them. They beat Houston on the road, which was a game that could have went either way.
Team's horrible.
I know. The game could have went either way. I don't have an opinion on the game. That's why this is all you. I'm just giving
my
the stats.
Official best bet, Peyton Manning and the Colts. You don't get them at -3 too often. I like it here. Okay. Oh, we give a coupon.
We give a coupon. And the coupon this week, since it's Thanksgiving week, Turkey 10, baby. We're going to go turkey.
How do you spell turkey?
How do you spell turkey? Turkey.
I always forget the E.
Well,
but then once I see it, then I know I have to put an E in there.
Okay. No problem. And Turkey 10, put it in your shopping cart when you check out at checkout, and you can use it for anything you want. $10 off. That coupon's good through Monday. If something's only $10, it's free on him.
We're giving thanks. All right, it's your turn to continue the conversation in the comments section with Marco and me. And next up, we're going to be talking Monday Night Football and a chance for you to win $100 pregame dollars with no cost, no obligation.